But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt a whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCR. Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, my favorite overalls. These will never go out of style. The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these. My parents took this after I made my first repair. Seems like a lifetime ago. Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service. Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this. Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl, and a voice. It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy.
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Why did you do that? How did you do that? I didn't see.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares. Those screws still need to be put back.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight, know that
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing?
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum. I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. Part I wouldn't be able to fix. My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the man.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks. Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label. Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together? Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portraits.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much. My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me. Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted,
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong? You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it. Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
these connections aren't quite right. I should check the wiring. Looks like some of these wires aren't connecting correctly. quite right. I should check the wiring. Looks like some of these wires aren't connecting correctly. Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up. There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go? When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent, and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone. As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?